I've got to tell you, I'm glad I stopped playing yesterday when I did at the end of last episode because I finished playing, I uploaded the videos to YouTube, and I just got hit with a load of music, DMCA, claim copyright things, and they're like all throughout the previous videos. I am trying to like sort it out, but the thing is, I don't understand, right? The music in the game is like elevator music. Nobody's going to find out what this song's called and go and play it on their fucking headphones. No one's going to illegally download this fucking music in the game. It's so weird that they'd have like a direct match on YouTube. It doesn't make any sense. And it's completely transformative. But the thing is, though, there's so many claims throughout the video for different tracks, right? That you 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 can dispute them, and no doubt if I did dispute them, they would they'd probably be taken off. But the dispute process takes so long. So I've used YouTube's inbuilt it can audio mute just like the music and still leave the voice right. It works okay. But my god, it did it on one of the videos and it just muted the whole video. Like it didn't make any sense. So I've turned the music off for this episode. I'm going to continue. The thing is, though, I normally on games that like I know is gonna have like copyrighted music, I always turn the music off. In this game, I just did not expect the fucking shitty little music that plays to. Anyways, right, let's go. Enough of that. Right, come on, let's go. But I did turn it on, exactly where we left off, and these have appeared. So Ratang Talang, director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, sir. About the hydrant, everyone involved in the story is utterly thrilled. Ah. This is the park that we let the cosplayers use. Sophie Light blogged about how these 2 square meters are now a memorial to all Americans who bravely soldiered in world wars. The only one who didn't really appreciate it was the Mayor Kruger, as he had to sign the metric ton of papers to pass this. Well, we got some sway there. Ellie, honey, thank you so much for making Tony visit the doctor. You won't believe it, turns out he's allergic to my perfume, and now I'm using a different brand. Oh, that's right. Because I like not running a risk of flying off my chair when our Veep sneezes. Happy days. Okay, so where actually were we? I need to have a look. Oh, that's right. I was going to do Snotty Joe, wasn't I? Right, come on then. Let's do Snotty Joe. This is the guy that... this guy's an absolute mug, right? He's always berating us in the press. But what do we need? Jolin, he likes to harass me with insolent questions at press conferences. Rumour has it a few years ago, Face dug up something incriminating on him and turned Joe from an independent journalist into an obliging footman. Okay, so that's why he does it. He would prefer to be an independent journalist, but because he's being blackmailed. Okay. Ideally would be able to force Joe to work with us and direct his energy in something useful, otherwise he'll be driving you nuts for the next 4 years. Find some dirt on Jolene, force Jolene to join our side. Okay. I'm thinking, well, we've only got 3 people we can do this with. I'm going to throw Clint and Jerry. I don't think a diplomat. Spreading rumours. Persuasion. I think because Clint and Jerry are lawyers. Oh, he's a press secretary. He is classed as a lawyer, isn't he? Treasury secretary. Oh, no, it doesn't tell you because we've got them in specific job roles. It's changed the job title. But I think they're both lawyers. Right, come on then. Because we can get some, like, law stuff on him. He's not going to be happy. I'm wondering, that nickname Snotty Joe, is it because he looks like a kid? Or is there something more serious behind it? Oh, yeah, there is. Don't laugh. Even a small detail might lead us to the dirt we're looking for. We need to watch Joe. He regularly attends press briefings at the White House, but I think we'll be more likely to find out what he has to hide if we watch him in a more relaxed environment. Or we could just ask about Joe through the normal channels. What do you want to do? Okay, so what's the options? If you don't want to continue an event, you can finish it early. Okay. I would ideally like to use Jerry, because if we use anything on him, we can send him to like the relaxed area next time. Lobby for a bill that will allow around-the-clock surveillance of all journalists. I don't think that's going to work. Ask your friends in Congress. about Joe's nickname. That's possibly good. Uncover any lawsuits involving Joe. That's a powerful one. Learn about Joe's nickname from his lawyer. Well, I don't think he'd be a pretty shit lawyer if he told you anything. We'll try this, because this guy's got like friends everywhere apparently. Boss, Jolin is a walking joke in the corridors of Congress. Everyone calls him Snotty because he's addicted to cocaine. They say faced people once caught Joe snorting drugs in a White House bathroom and gave him a choice. Either he starts working with them or he goes to jail. At that moment, the guy became Face's own private reporter. Whenever he opens his mouth at press conferences, it's Face pulling the strings. We will... Okay, so if we can put a stop to this. I knew there was a reason people call Joe Snotty, but the whole thing turned out to be so obvious. People can be so predictable sometimes. Well, anyway, the important thing is now we have all the information we need to pressure Joe and make him work to our interests. How do you want this to go? What's the choices? Ask Joe's lawyer to put pressure on him. Tell Joe's lawyer... Clint's actually not very good at this, is he? Ask some friendly congressman to publicly discuss Joe's addiction. Convince Joe to come over to our side. That could be powerful. Because if we ask congressman to publicly discuss Joe's addiction, is that even going to stop him coming after us? Whereas if we get him on our side, we can put a stop to it. Do it. Joe agreed to come over to our side, boss. He started thinking about his next move as soon as the election results were announced. After all, Faith was on the way out. So he... Oh, man. So, okay. He was... After Faith was out, he was going to leave anyway. Joe was afraid of angering Faith's people, so he kept playing the devoted follower. But now we've approached him with another option. Plus, he quickly realised that we know all about how he likes to spend his time after work, and even during work, so it wasn't hard to convince this guy. Excellent. Right, hold on, I need to change the position of this chair. Do I need to change the position of the chair? Yeah, that's alright there. Right, Jolene, Mr. President, I'm glad to see you've quickly figured out how things run in Washington. The only thing is if this guy's on our side, is he going to be a liability sniffing coke in the bathroom? Or is he going to stop it? We journalists are the fourth estate, and you have to negotiate with us in the same way you do congressmen and judges. No one can afford to fight the whole press from the beginning. Even the president needs allies. And I'm ready to be your ally, as long as it's beneficial arrangement for both of us. Ooh. By the way, sir, now that we are partners, I'll share with you the contact of a journalist interviewer who will be able to raise your rating. Excellent. Paul Leroy's business card. Famous media personality. This is going to be powerful. Write a tweet. Come on then, what are we writing about? Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Drugs are very bad. Let's just go full on anti-drugs. It's better to play sport. Even video games don't hurt as much. I recommend alcohol. It's better to play sports. This doesn't even make any sense. Even smoking is banned in the White House. Personally, I haven't touched a cigarette in 2 years. How do you relax? And how do you relax? What? Give advice on what to do. This doesn't make any sense. Drugs are very bad. It's better to play sports. And how do you... Why is how you relax even in there? Drugs are very bad. It's better to play sports. Even smoke... What? What's the other option? Lad, this doesn't even make sense. Can we just send a tweet like that? Yeah, but isn't it, you're not gonna, if you want drugs, you're not gonna play a sport, are you? I recommend good alcohol instead of this crap. I recommend good alcohol instead of this crap. Even smoking is banned in the White House. I don't want to. Fuck. I know what I'm saying, even though it doesn't make sense. Maybe it's just a translation error. Drugs are very bad. It's better to play sports. Even smoking is banned in the White House. Sober America is the choice of patriots. Yes, it is. Boom. Have some of that. Smoking is banned, but it feels like the country is run by stoned people. It feels like it's written while on cocaine. Confess, Mr. President, you snorted. What did he even say here? That's hilarious. New team member. Oh, look at that. Plus 1.4, plus 0.5. That's good. The president is gradually establishing a regular process in the White House. Every week he seems more and more confident in the Oval Office chair. That's what Joe Lynn said. Team stress update, yeah. I need to give Jerry a break next month. Right. Jack Steele, director of the Propane Association. Mr. President, the barbecue season is almost upon us. I personally think the juicy steak cooked over an open fire is the best thing ever. I would agree. I remember though how the president faced would roast his meat over wood oil coals. The heathen. A good cut of beef doesn't need any smoke. Would you like to set an example for all good Americans and use propane grill for your first presidential barbecue? Our association would be grateful beyond all measure if you did. Go on then, I love a good barbecue. Sergio Macroni's personal assistant, Adriana Marino. Mr. President, I'm here on behalf of Sergio Macroni. My client may be spoken as a shady mafia boss, but I personally know him to be a generous philanthropist. For one reason or another, many businessmen and officials don't like being known as acquaintances of Mr. Macroni, which hurts my client deeply. If you acknowledge Mr. Macroni on the official donor roll of your charity foundation, he'll transfer a nice amount to your account. Will you accept the check, Mr. President? Yes. He's not asking for anything, but he could ask for something in the future. Yes, go on. I'll accept a fat check. Boom. Right, so what we got? Jerry, we can't use... We got Joe to use now. Can we use him for anything? I wonder if Joe's any good at intimidating the media. No, I want to do that forcefully. Save the whistleblower. You remember Will Tritch? Oh, we read about this last episode. Yeah, ever since Tritch exposed the truth about our intelligence services, they've been hunting him harder than they hunt the terrorists. Openly supporting Tritch isn't an option. The establishment and the journalists would brand us an enemy of America, and if that happens, how are we going to prove that he's actually a patriot? We've got to do something to help the poor guy out. Getting him out of trouble is going to be tricky. One wrong move and the FBI will beat us to the punch. We'll have to dig into the depths of the dark web and smuggle Tritch across the border, or find some way to change the way America thinks about him. There's no other way. But who would be good for this? A lawyer, possibly. I'm taking him anyway, because Joe's not going to be able to help here. Tien's got good relations in worldwide elite connections. So if we've got a lawyer and connections, maybe we can get him through safely. However, we'll do it. I was going to do this with Ollie, but he's busy on a mission because it said depths of the dark web. But even then, how would just go to the depths of the dark web get him back to America? It's not going to happen, is it? I got in touch with Tritch, and it turns out that he's a big supporter. He says that if you can personally vouch for his safety, he'll get on a flight to Washington right now. But as you yourself know, there are some serious people in the FBI, and it won't be easy to get them off the scent. So tell me, how are we going to protect Tritch from being arrested? File a legal complaint against the FBI. That's not going to work. Collect Tritch personally from Venezuela and escort him as a client. Possibly. Bring Tritch into the country discreetly on a diplomatic flight from Vietnam. I like the sound of that. Launch a media awareness campaign in support of Tritch. That's not going to get him at the country though, is it? It's either this one. Collect Tritch personally. I need Clint for other things. I don't want to raise his stress too much. And TN's brand new, and I don't know what else we're going to use him for. This seems his forte. Right, want to do this. Bring Tritch in the country discreetly. Mr. President, since diplomats get to bypass customs, they can bring in drugs and weapons and lots of other nice things. Oh my god, now that we know this, I wonder if we can use him to bring in other shady stuff. You'd be amazed to see their airplane luggage compartments. I myself have never done any smuggling. We even had to load Mr. Tritch into a taxi while he was still in the suitcase. I hope he doesn't hold too much of a grudge. Mate, he doesn't care. I mean, if I had to get back in the country, I'd happily go in a suitcase like. I'd be happy to be smuggled in Joe Mama's ass. Hey man, Tritch was just reunited with his wife and kids. Oh, nice. You can't imagine how grateful he is to you. The guy has a lot of incriminating evidence against the establishment. Their whole behind-the-scenes apparatus is on the ropes. We will be able to find out all kinds of amazing facts about anyone you want, from faced bribes to the Pope's boys. This is game-changing. What's this? Dirt on senators. Oh, yes. A stack of papers with damning dirt on the senators from the rival party. Amazing. As a thank you for his rescue, Tritch gave me a folder with some interesting information about a couple of senators, including the very powerful Dickinson of Alaska. Might come in handy if you ever have anything to talk to her about. Write a tweet. It's funny because we've only ever wrote one tweet before, now like they're coming quite fast. US intelligence agencies are the chief enemies of free speech. CIA doesn't like to be told the truth about them. Now, I'm not going to shop these out. Doesn't America need free, honest people? Boom. If you say one word of truth, you're finished. Honest people here are forced out of the country and into hiding. I like that one. Honest people here are only forced out of the country and into hiding. Will Tritch is living proof of that. But Will Tritch has found a way back. Will Tritch is the Robin Hood of our time. I'm going to say Will Tritch is living proof of that. And now he's under my protection. I'm not going to say that. And I got him out of the clutches of America's Secret Service. Nah, I'm not saying any of that. Will, America is with you. So let's just distance ourselves from us actually taking part in it and just bigging him up. Let's go. Free Will Tritch. Will Tritch should be thrown in the pit. Pomeranian spits puppies for free. Alright, is this going to go down well? I got 14,000 likes. Will Tritch, new member. Oh, we're at 73 here, lads. Our ratings are going up. TN's only got one, that's good. Finish. He's a hacktivist. Right, tell you what we need to do. We need to find out what him and the other. We need to find out what his skills are. Hacktivist. Mr. President, I want to check the security of the password in your personal mail. Sorry, I went to check the security of the password in your personal mail and I accidentally hacked it. Should I make it more secure? Yes. Oh, we lost ratings, but we got 700 grand. Mr. President, Mr. McCroney, my client, is deeply touched by your decision. Who's talking about bribes? It was a mere goodwill gesture by Mr. McCroney. The media may claim otherwise, but we all know it's nothing but filthy lies, don't we? True. Bruno Levitt, CEO at CryptoZelle. Mr. President, having currency sure is nice, but cryptocurrency is even better. Zelle coin value skyrocketed by 17 times in just 6 months, and we're only picking up steam, no doubt. The rates would soar even higher should an influential figure decide to invest in us. But here's the thing, Mr. President. Would you consider converting some of your assets into Zelle coin? Lads, this is going to be a big risk. We're either going to massively lose our money because of a rug pull, or we're going to gain quite a lot because it's still on the up. 500 grand. We were just getting 700 grand from the mafia. Fuck it. Let's do it. Antonio Estava, Vice President. Buddy, there's a wheeler dealer I know who's selling a gorgeous necklace with a mother of all sapphires. He even let me know he's ready to give our president a cool discount. Here, I thought, with our dear Ellie being so prickly lately, isn't it a perfect opportunity to treat her to something real nice? Would you like to splurge on the sapphire and save us all so much pain? 60,000 to put a smile on my wife's face? Fucking no. Mate, she needs to be happy with the Burger King. Got work to do. Right, what else? Intimidate the media. I'm leaving that for Alvaro. Create a statue. So your fans from New York City got the mayor to sign all the paperwork required to install a small statue of you in Central Park. Oh yeah, I think I read this. I know you're a busy man and posing for the whole month is out of the question, but maybe you could send someone to stand in. I say this is This has got to be Alvaro, because he's strong. Nobody else on this panel is like a strong bloke. Right, we're gonna call it there. Close. Right, now wait, before we go, we need to close. Right. It only costs 10 grand to... He's only got 1 star, he's only got 1 star. I tell you what, we're putting Jerry. Jerry, bro, you need to chill. Sending him to rest. He's on vacation. Once we do this, can we add more? We can, so we can do it anytime we want. I could wipe this off Clint for 10 grand. But I don't think it's worth it. Right, let's go. Close. And that's going to put him back down to 0. Right, lads, I think we've got some big bills coming in, to be honest. Let's go to the next month. What is this? We've got so... Yeah, how much could we sell all this shit for? 600 million. 100 forensic report. Oh yeah, we get 5.5. That's good. And 100 grand. $1 for that card. 500. Yeah, we're gonna get quite a bit of money from that if we need to sell it. But I'm still holding on to it. Right, let's go. Monthly bill 852. How's the bill 850,000? Clint's 147,000 for Clint. How the fuck's he getting that much money? 193,000 for Jerry. Bruh. Will, you've done nothing. I've just fucking rescued you. You fucking punk ass. Joe, you haven't done anything. Tien, you haven't done anything yet. Well, I put him on 1 mission. Okay. The thing is, alright, we've already not paid Jerry. I'm actually going to keep him on. He seems to be quite good. Fucking hell, 394 grand. Oh, yeah, we were at 90 and we've struggled to get back, to be honest. But we've been doing some shit though. 69.2% approval rating. Okay. Fucking hell, we're nowhere near the goal. Team stress. Good. What does this do? You lose 100 grand at the end of every month. That's fine. All team members lose 1 stress point at the end of every month. Ah. All team members lose 1 stress at the end of every month. I could have saved myself 10 grand. But it's okay. I know that for the future. We're going to lose 2 stress. That's so powerful. Right, continue. April. Ellie. Honey, this is bad news. Wister is out of jail and he's holding a press conference. I doubt you'll have very much nice to say. Turn on the TV. They're bound to be broadcasting the lunatics' ramblings across the whole country. I don't really care, to be honest. Do what he wants.
You tired of these briefings yet, Joe? Another worm from the woodwork, wronged by the president. It's getting pathetic.
Well, let's give him a chance. I've got a good feeling about this one.
How's that?
Look who we got standing here. There's every figure from the establishment you could name. Even Face took a break from his permanent vacation.
Joe Lynn's on our side, though.
Gentlemen, you may not know who I am, and that's fine by me. I'm a small, insignificant man. A cog spat out by the Washington machine. My name is Archie Wister, and I am an American patriot. I was raised to believe that even a man like me can rise up against a tyrant A tyrant who always gets what he wants, no matter the cost. A tyrant who thinks nothing of his own people's sufferings. A tyrant who has always escaped justice. Until today, I'm here to present irrefutable proof that the president is a crook and a violent psychopath who belongs in prison.
Motherfucker.
You see, I worked with the president. I admired the president. The president was a friend of mine. The president pretended he wanted to fix the justice system. His fix, of course, was to turn it into a farce.
Who's he talking
That's
about
why
me?
These prisons were deliberately lacking in several key departments. The cells housed more people than they possibly could. Safety protocols were routinely ignored. Employees received miserable wages. These places are far worse than prisons. They're hell on earth.
Well, dear God,
I
then.
learned of the conditions in these prisons. It was too late to stop the president. He set me up to take the fall and take the punishment for crimes he committed. Today, I call for the United States Congress to convict the president of high crimes and misdemeanors. He should be impeached by the House of Representatives and tried in the Senate and be removed from office.
I've got a better idea. How about we strap another bomb to a drone and light this cunt up? I think that's going to happen. Watch. This guy's going to get annihilated. You son of a bitch. Oh, that's good. This guy gives us 300 grand, I remember that. Anonymous elite member, 50 grand. Nice. Okay, so we're still doing good on money. We've still got like 3 mil. Even with all of our expenses. Boss, with all these red sunsets, the warm sea and the tasty cocktails, that was one hell of a vacation. You've got no idea why I've been so mad at you. It won't happen again. Just tell me what to do and then sit back and watch as I impress with my skills. Okay. I could have saved myself 10 grand if I remembered that I had the minus bloody point thing, but that's fine. Will Tritch, I'll agree to work pro bono, Mr. President, but only until the end of the month. Here's hoping you pay your debts with interest. Do you actually have to pay interest? I don't know how this works. If you don't pay someone, do you have to pay interest, like, next month? Fuck that, I wouldn't do that. Mate, he's never done that. Everybody is troubled sometimes, Mr. President, especially when all your cash goes right up your nose. If things are tough right now, don't worry about the money. I've got a nice stash of blow at home, it'll last me a while. This guy's just, what the hell? Yeah, everybody has trouble sometimes, Mr. President. Things are tough right now, don't worry about the money. I've got some savings, it'll last me a while. Okay. So we'll have to pay them next month. I don't know if you can pay someone, then not pay someone, then pay someone, then not pay someone. I don't know if that works like that. Right, Anthony Pasakis. Educate the veterans. Sir, Ollie did great. The vets became computer literate in just a few days. And he also installed a few video games on their PCs. Old boys haven't stopped skirmishing in Patch of Honor 5 ever since. All those short-lived alliances, switching sides right on the battlefield, and a last-minute strategy changes have made their lives meaningful. In a TV feature shot, one happy veteran thanked you for giving him a chance to live on the edge again. Nice, so that worked. Well done, Ollie. Guided tour. Oh yes, we sent Alta, didn't we? Millie Waterhouse, head of the Working Women's Society. Thank you, Mr. President. That was a lovely tour. According to Alta, this administration has created perfect working conditions for women, and this appears to be true. At least, judging by a total of 7 female restrooms I was able to locate. That's got to be a record for government institution. In my post on the Female Breadwinners Forum, I called the White House a true stronghold of democracy. Such tours will now be a regular feature, and we'll be donating a token amount to your charity foundation each month. Oh yes, thank you, Mr. President. 50 grand a month, that's 100 grand a month we're getting from donations. Awesome. Jack Steele, Director of the Propane Association. Mr. President, I think you can't argue that soot-free meat is generally a decadent thing. Even more people know that now. Ever since the story about your barbecue party aired, people have been in a frenzy to ditch the coal grills and switch to propane. Thanks so much. 1 million should show up in your charity account anytime now. Do you know what? I'm kind of thinking right now that we've got some good stuff off here. Maybe I should have accepted the Tesla deal, but I thought it was just like a... So they're going to get free promotion, but it turns out they do actually give you money. We'll know that for the future. Oh, 1.2 million from crypto. Mr. President, your entrepreneurial instincts are as sharp as ever. Zellcoin keeps gaining value by the day. Your dividends should show up in your account shortly. By the way, do you think Zellcoin could become the national currency one day? Probably not, mate. I'm just in for a quick buck. Oh, 5.2 mil. Lads, we went from there to there. But shit's gonna kick off now with that guy's out of jail. Arkville Mayor Alan Rickles has announced plans for the top university in the United States. The construction will be sponsored by several major corporations. All accusations against the president are nothing but dirty lies and fabrications. The so-called evidence Whistler presents is full of falsified documents. Get in. Well done, Glover. Dew-faced. Mr. President should be expecting any response from you to the charges, or will you be huddling yourself in a corner pretending nothing happened just like always? Mate, I don't worry myself with little man affairs. Yeah, so this guy was going, oh, the conditions in prisons are really bad. Mate, do you know if you don't want to deal with bad conditions in prisons, how about don't go to fucking jail, you absolute moron? You know what I mean? Like, as easy as that. Antonio Estaba. Hey man, you see what our old buddy Whistler's up to? Had himself a press conference and dragged your name all through the mud. It's the same guy who thanked you so much for pardoning him. What a bastard. I hope no one expected Whistler to be in jail forever. The fact that they managed to keep him behind bars for 6 months is a real miracle. We've got to figure out what to do about the empty charges. Are there any actual charges against me? Yes, several serious ones, but I'm not getting into that right now. Why didn't you prepare in advance for Whistler to wage a campaign against you? What kind of carelessness is that? Bitch! Yeah, is my wife for real? Okay, don't fight you two. The reason isn't important. The journalist will honk a little, then forget about it when the next story comes up. Business as usual, buddy. You're not the first guy to find himself on the bottom of the pile. It worked out before. It will now too. I think you underestimate the situation, Tony. What Whistler said in there was very serious. And as much as I hate to admit it, we could be impeached on those charges in no time. Impeachment is in the first month of his presidency? You must be kidding, Ellie. At the end of the term, sure. In the middle, sure. But believe it, not at the starting gate. America wouldn't stand for it. I'm afraid Congress isn't interested in what the people think, Tony. True. True. Very true, but they're not suicidal either. They know that there are limits to what's permitted. I wouldn't be afraid of impeachment, not yet anyway. My dear, in that case, let me ask you one thing. Make sure your support only grows and doesn't wane. That way, talk of impeachment will remain just that, talk. Well, I've got good support. And yes, Tony, I'm going to ask you to be more careful. Keep a good public face and don't let the journalists catch you blurting out too much. I never blurt out. I just tell it like it is. Exactly, so shut your fucking mouth. That's what I fear most of all. Okay, so that's another worry. Well, it's not. Oh, I'm on 71%. Darling, I haven't spoken to Noah yet, but I have a suspicion that he will raise the price for his servants after Whistler's performance. Who? Administration corruption report. There are several people in your administration who have been involved in shady dealings. If you sell these documents, they are likely to leak to journalists and damage your reputation, but you will also be paid handsomely. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I didn't sit still and prepare a specific piece of dirt on ourselves. If we urgently need money, we can leak it through Noah, but keep in mind that the sale of the documents would damage our reputation. Yeah, I wonder how much that's worth, actually. Even this very morning, no one would have imagined that the speech of an ordinary office clerk who once worked at the White House could gain such a resonance. While experts study the evidence he presented of the president's guilt, America holds its breath. Is our newly elected head of state actually a swindler? Joe Lynn. Joe Lynn, bro, you're on my team. What are you fucking writing shit like that for? Noah. Mr. President, I've heard the latest news. Sorry to say, I have to raise my price to 10 million. What? The reason is simple enough. A president under threat of impeachment is a highly toxic interlocutor for the congressmen I represent. They risk their reputation and their career as a consequence, and you'll have to make up for it. I have some good news for you though. I can offer you now a 2-in-1 service. Pay me and not only your amendment will pass in Congress, but you can also avoid the impeachment. I will find someone who can solve both problems at once. Mr. President, please consider my offer very seriously. Usually people who refuse my services regret it deeply afterwards, but it will be too late for regrets when you're retired or even worse, put on trial. Motherfucker, I knew this guy was a swindler. So if he's saying this, it's going to be another person I can go to, isn't it? What can he guarantee? Amendment will definitely pass, and I'll avoid impeachment. Son of a bitch. Alan Rickles, Sir, I've read the news and I've decided to show you my support. In this stream, I'll show my followers the way Washington insiders jump out of their pants to pass the buck on you, and American people support you. Know that, Mr. President. This guy is something else. Head of Security Service, Wolf Hyde. Sir, please don't think I'm a raving lunatic. After all, my duty is to protect you from any threat, even if it's of a mystical nature, yes. Even if it comes from the shaman known as Big Corn Cob, who recently announced in March on the White House. What? Who recently announced a march on the White House. This piebald horse-riding character says he'll be in DC soon and work his hoodoo to evict the evil spirit, meaning you. The guy should be put away, that's for sure. Would you like us to do just that so another loony won't imagine one day it's okay to threaten the president so shamelessly before the entire nation's eyes? No, I don't give a fuck. Should I? Mate, he can do what he wants. I'm not bothered. Curator of the Refugee Protection Fund. Mr. President, the Border Patrol caught a group of illegal Mexican immigrants. Old story, I know, but there's a twist. The Mexicans say the Helleris slaver cartel is hunting them back home. If they aren't lying, then sending them back would be equal to putting them on the chopping block. You're their only hope, Mr. President. Will you grant refugee status to these poor guys? Yes. Secretary of Education. Mr. President, every year we spend $100 million on supporting talented college students. After much thought about how to streamline these expenses, we came up with a brilliant idea. Would you consider using your charity funds to establish a presidential scholarship for the cream of the crop? Let me ask you a question. Establishing a presidential scholarship for the cream of the crop. Why would I do that? If they're the cream of the crop, they're going to succeed anyway. Fuck no. Curator of Refugee Protection Fund. Mr. President, I don't know how true the story about the White House cartel was, but later that day the locals shrugged or explanations often began rallying outside Albuquerque City Hall. The rally soon spiraled into fisticuffs with the police and general mayhem. Everyone's putting the blame on you. Just so you know, I'm on your side, Mr. President. Having a big heart is a heartache crime. Yeah, fuck them. Listen, if they're not telling the truth, we'll send them back. Jerry Lander. Boss, my arguments didn't work for you, and I'm not used to being taken lightly. I told you I wanted the Chief of Staff chair, but I'm still sitting in the Executive Office chair. I understand that you have your own vision of how to deal with personal issues, but I'm warning you. If my demand is not met in a month, I will have to resign. You should know that I'm a man of business, and I do not throw words to the wind. You fucking mate. You're not getting the Chief of Staff chair, you fuck. Well, wait there. We might have to switch him up here. Let's just think, right? Ellie, darling, it's good to see that you've started to expand your team. We'll never have the amendment ratified without help. Just be careful. The more people you hire, the more wages you have to pay every month, and this money is coming from our pocket, not from the country's budget. The specialists we employ are in high demand, and they won't stay with us long if we suddenly go broke at the start and start delaying their payments. Also, the payments are delayed. We have to pay them regardless. Okay. Hack the diplomats. Oh, good. We've got him at full speed. Right, okay. So before we go any further, we need to... Sometimes presidents make bad decisions, but you have the opportunity to turn back the page and retry. I don't want to do that. We're living... If I could turn back time... No, I'm good. I'm happy with my decisions. Right. So, this motherfucker wants to be the Chief of Staff. Oh. Because I have to move him from here. You gain 1% rating. Team member actions increase stress points by 1. Jerry, why the fuck would I have you there then? You add nothing. If I added Jerry there... Oh, we've got more people though. What does Joe do? But Joe's useless at everything. Will. We don't have anyone else new, do we? Motherfucking bitch. Right, okay. So this guy is going to leave at the end of the month. Okay, well, tell you what we'll do. Let's leave this for now, because I like how this is. I'm gonna utilize this guy as much. I'll make him stress the fuck, and then I'm gonna sack a cunt. Right. So what do we got? Intimidate the media. We're definitely doing this. Oh wait there. We've got 10 days to create a statue. Right, intimidate the media. We're going to use Alvaro for this. It's only going to add 1 stress point, so that's fine. Oh, wait there. Wait a minute. Create a statue 10. Yeah, if I use 1 stress point on him, I can make him rest this episode, right. Bang. Maybe you can get a menacing looking guy to watch him while they drive to work or munch on a hamburger. Go on then, Alvaro. See if we can intimidate the press. Now. Get rid of the spy drone. Witch hunt. Right, let's read this first. We'll find out who's best for the job. Estaba, if someone coughs in the smoking room, it's all over social media within the hour, and things are leaking from everywhere. Your phone conversations are being reported, the agendas of meetings, even information about back-channel negotiations. One time I was using foul language in my office, and a couple of days later I read it all about on Just DC. Vice President Estaba is out of control. Yes, we're public figures now, so we're always under a microscope, but it's getting too much. Whoever this new mole is, they're making it impossible to get any work done. It's time we smoke them out, but we can't just solve the problem by going to court or talking to the media. You'll have to keep a close eye on everybody personally. Right. Find out who in the administration is leaking information. Well, definitely Ollie. He's going to be able to suss them out. And put an end to the leaks. You're going to court or talking to the media. I'm thinking Tian might be good at that. Connections from people in power. Because he could shut him down, couldn't he? Put an end to the leaks. Okay, let's go for it. Leaks are going to our old friend from Just DC, the arrogant journalist Johanna Rizzuto, the one who was always harassing you with the stupid questions at your press conferences. I don't think there's any way we can make that snake talk. She'll just pretend she's got professional ethics and refuse to betray his source. We'll need to take a different approach. Who will you trust to find the new mole? I honestly think it's going to be a job for Ollie. Track the administration staff using GPS on their smartphones. Hack into employee accounts to find the source of the leaks. I think that's the one, like. What can he do? Threaten to bring administration up on criminal charges. Right. Yeah, that's not going to work for this instance. Right, I'm going to go for this. Hack into employee accounts to find the source of the leaks. Chief, I didn't find anything. Fuck. Track the administration staff using GPS on their smartphones. It didn't work either. Didn't raise any red flags. They went to work, went home, and supermarket and so on and so on. But the strange data points showed up. A lot of their routes converged at an intersection on 21st Street. I googled the place and there's nothing there except a laundromat and a fortune teller. I'd rather think that the White House staff is using laundry there, but I figured it's more likely they're getting their fortunes read. Motherfucker. I checked this Nastasha's website. In her spiritual portfolio, she mentioned that she's an advisor to the White House. I wouldn't be surprised if she's our leak. It's a good thing that under your leadership we're running a clean operation. So it turns out we didn't just have one rat, but a whole nest of them right under our noses. Well, let's smash that fortune teller's glass ball and mix up her tarot cards or whatever she uses. It'll be easier to deal with our chatty fortune teller than to debrief each employee individually. So, buddy, it's time we put an end to her detailed visions. What's happening in the White House? Any ideas how we should handle it? Oh, this has went wild. Bring Natasha over to our side. Didn't work. I explained to Miss Natasha that she might run into trouble if she didn't start talking about which administration staff members were visiting her. But in response, she only showed me with the most shocking curses. She said my office would burn down along with all papers inside them and hung up. Fucking hell. Right, she's got full immigration status. Fuck that bitch. It's not working. Lads, it's a complete fucking bust. I made appropriate calls and the police immigration are already looking at her. I wonder if she predicted that she'd be returning to her native country. Hey man, I just had a thought. If Natasha doesn't want to return to her homeland, maybe we could offer her a job. Easy work, after all. White House employee, tell her all the gossip and Natasha comes and tells us. You see what I mean? We hear all kinds of crazy stuff and able to fix the problem before they get out of hand. Great idea, Tony, let's do it. Then I'll get one of our people to start talking to her. She'll be happy to play along if she doesn't want to be deported. Bring her over to our side by pointing out her legal status. Boss, my conversation with Natasha ended quickly. I explained that she'd be in a couple of hours unless she got on board, and she swore on her daughter that she'd stop talking to the journalist and she'd instead report to us everything interesting she heard in our sessions. So why are we getting like a dung 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 noise? That was successful, wasn't it? Man, everything turned out great. Not only did we fix the leaks, but we also got a powerful new tool to control the administration. The fortune teller was so frightened that she gave us the folder with all the data she had collected. Fascinating read, my friend. Dirt on the White House employees. Dirt on some employees of the White House, which fortune teller and Natasha managed to gather. Invaluable information for journalists, historians, and people who like to dig to other people's dirty laundry. Excellent, write a tweet. Right, come on. Okay, that was tough, that one. Fuck, I've spunked all my points up on that. I need luckily I've got loads of people. The fascination with esotericism in this country is disturbing. The Russians have a new weapon this time. It's supernatural. The fascination with this in this country is disturbing. What? What the fuck does that even mean? Do I believe in magic? No, I'm not stupid. But I want to remind you, if a person is an idiot, no fortune teller can help them. But I do know that fate is always on the side of the strongest, but all magic is powerless against laws. But I want to remind you, if a person is an idiot, no fortune teller can help them. Think with your own head so that you don't have to answer with it. So you'd better go to your government for advice. So don't trust the secrets in any charlatans. So don't trust your secrets to any charlatans. Now think with your own head so you don't have to answer with it. Dropping down threats in a tweet. Nice. Boom! 16,000 likes. Someone get the president his pills. Mr. President, when will they build a school in Michigan? Magic is real. The dark harvest is coming. Fuck magic. Only magic, that's right, is dance, magic dance, magic dance, magic dance. How did this get it? Did we get any? Oh, we got popularity for that. Good shit. Our readers keep asking us why there's been so few rumours coming from the White House lately. The fact is the administration is under information lockdown and people are simply afraid to speak. Right. So what I need to do is... Sir, are those your men with binoculars watching me from up on the roof? At first I thought it was just my nerves and then the stress, but now I know. You're stalking my family and listening in on my calls. You probably watch my every move. You've got someone keeping records every time I yawn and fart, right? No, I don't. I'm sorry, sir. I guess I really just need a vacation and a drink. Mate, you're going on a vacation? Warren Monger, sir, I must say I'm impressed with Vice President Estaba. He may be working for your administration, but he still remembers a thing or two about surveillance. I suppose Federal Bureau training is like riding a bicycle. Oh, do you know, I've just thought, do you know who else I could have brought? with me on that mission. I could have brought the hacktivist. I never thought about that. Just to be sure you're up to speed, Mr. Estaba, uncovered some flaws in our security system and exposed the incompetence of 5 agents. We fired them on the spot, sir. So you have nothing to worry about going forward. Unfortunately, by slipping through our surveillance, the Vice President has jeopardized his own safety. If we have an idea where Mr. Estaba is, then we cannot protect him. If we have no idea where he is. I know that you and your Vice President are under a lot of pressure, but you always feel like you can talk to him, right? Put one of your agents in Tony's social circle. I'd advise what the agent is up to speed with conspiracy theories and pretends to be in at least a few of them. Ask Ellie for help. She knows how to keep Tony in line. Thank you, sir. I will do that. I hope she can help us come to an understanding with the Vice President. Loretta Gonzalez, Captain of the Border Patrol Service. Sir, that piece of the wall on the Mexican border is more trouble than it's worth. We've got to patrol the unfenced areas, the construction warehouses, and the wall itself. And the wall, by the way, is being climbed over by everybody in both directions. And don't even get me started on the illegals who fooled my guards a couple of times by pretending to be workers. Maybe you could order a halt of the construction that Mr. Face initiated. But now as people are climbing over it, and there's not a very good fucking wall, is it? Yeah, fuck that. We've got to patrol the unfenced areas, the construction warehouse, and the wall. Why are you patrolling the wall, bro? If the wall wasn't... Listen, if the wall wasn't there, right? If the wall wasn't there, then why you'd be patrolling it anyway? Nah. You're gonna have to deal with it until it's fucking built, mate. Vice President, buddy, can't you see that no one in the whole administration brave enough to stand up against you? Meanwhile, the bad vibes aren't going anywhere. According to Sands, this is a potentially volatile situation. Don't you worry though. I know just the way to help people let off steam. How about getting a punching dummy that looks like you for our gym? Everyone would be allowed to collaborate at any time, and that would work just as well as group therapy. Would you mind your rubber likeness absorbing some of the people's wrath? For 50 grand for a rubber dummy? No. Governor of New Mexico, Mr. President, I've been presented a report on unemployment growth in the New Mexico yesterday, and it's concerning. It turns out 1 person in 5 subsists on food stamps here. We've got to act on that ASAP. The best course of action would be to ban employers from getting info from police databases. So what if a guy stole some trifle or got caught DUI? This doesn't mean he'd be a suspect employee, right? Everyone deserves a second chance. What would you say to sign an executive order to classify the law enforcement records? So what are we looking for? 1 person in 5 subsists on food stamps here, right? The best course of action would be to ban employees from getting info from police databases. No? Are you fucking stupid? Well, why? No. That's not going to solve anything. So I neighbour that. So they can't get info from police databases, but they'll just fucking hire a fucking pedo as a teacher. Fucking idiot. No, we're not banning that. Do people even think about what they're fucking saying? Okay. Ollie bruh. You're going on holiday. You're going on holiday, bro. Can I send Alvaro on holiday? No, because he's on a mission. Alta's probably going to go on holiday, although she's going to lose too if I don't use her. Right, so what's next? Get rid of the spy drone. I don't think I want to be able to do that without Ollie. Writing software, finding compromising evidence, using surveillance hardware, hacking people. Well, he's a hacker. Mr. President, there's some weird ass stuff going on at Camp David. Every night a drone operated by some idiot is making circles above your retreat. I mean, the little flying shits aren't hard to down with EMP guns, but we're yet to find the guy controlling them. God knows where the bastard set up shop. It could be anyone from terrorists to foreign spies or even your political rivals. Maybe you have an expert who could help us track the flying piece of shit. Yeah, Will. Hacking people. Good. Curb the Congresswoman. Martha Lupin, Speaker of the House of Representatives. Sir Helena Rogers, a representative from New Mexico, kept dragging you through the mud every time she spoke in the last few months. Her characterizations of you ranged from racist to man-eater. She was slamming your migration policy and reluctance to relax the US-Mexico border crossing rules. I mean, it's all well and good, but here I've got some info that contradicts her sob story with all the poor immigrant parents and a brother killed during a conflict with the border guard. She might be hoaxing us to claim some unearthed political brownie points. Wouldn't it be a good idea to keep an eye on this Helena before her lip gets us into hot water? If you could send someone with an experience in private investigation after her, there'd probably be some nice dirt to be dug up on her. Joe could be good at this. Private investigation. She's good at speaking with journalists, but she's not a journalist, is she? Right, I think Jerry. Oh, we can only send one person. Connections from the people in power. Private investigation. Alvaro would be good for that, wouldn't he? We've got 2 days to do that. Then create a statue. Shit. Oh, fuck. I've just said I need to do... Oh. You haven't yet tried buffalo wings. You have an experienced hacker at your disposal. You better not try using him to fish for information of fat Joes. What? Hacking into the computers of foreign diplomats is a crime, you know. They could be storing all kinds of sensitive information there. What I'm trying to say is, if you have an experienced hacker at your disposal, you better not try using him to fish for information of fat Joes. So I'm not going to get a chance to do this, unfortunately, because I think security's better than getting something. We'll be able to sell that for money, but that's fine. Right. Our story. My dear, the editor of the glossy fashion magazine Sans wrote to me today. They'd gone big on an article about your life story and asked you to tell them how you decided to enter politics. They understand you're busy, so working from available sources, they sketched out a few visions of how you became political. There's not a lot of choice. The journalist said too little is known about your past to write anything meaningful. It seems more to me like they're not doing their job, but oh well. Which option do you prefer? New sincerity. Boom. Since childhood, I've always loved power and control. I like to be obeyed. My way into politics. From an early age, I was interested only in entrepreneurship, but also in the socio-political structure of America. I've always been a part of the debate, mostly from a leadership position. I was captain of the football team and the director. I've always enjoyed being in a position of authority. That's ridiculous. The boy and the homeless man. One day, a little boy was walking down the street and he met a homeless man hiding from the rain in a TV box. The boy asked the homeless man and said if he was sad and went over to ask if everything was alright. He asked, "Sir, what happened?" And the man said, "Boy, life treat me wrong, blah, this is a shit story, I hate it." And the boy answered, "Sir, I don't know if life will treat me fair, but look at my young hands, look at my burning eyes, look at my new shoes that smell like polish. I promise you, I will spend all my strength on the same dream my whole life, and if I fail, like millions, a million more before me, then at least I will know why I was born. That boy was our president." I hate stories like that. I wish I prefer this. I never stopped trying to better myself. That's how I eventually became president. That's probably why I was so harsh back in school when I started out training animals, and as I got older I got meaner. That's how I developed my traits necessary for any ruler: a firm hand, steadfastness, determination. Yes, I'm a tough person. I can take a punch. I can hold my hand over a hot lighter. I can grab a cat by its tail and ride around the block on a bicycle for hours. What the fuck? Yeah, that's ridiculous. I think we're going to go with my way into politics. First story's a joke. Oh my dear, the people on the internet are saying that they've never read anything so sad their whole lives, and the more meticulous ones also checked the story against primary sources and found a bunch of inconsistencies and exaggerations in the article. Now they're calling you a liar. What the fuck? What's the big deal? Sure, maybe sometimes you lie, but at least you have a sense of humour. That was ridiculous. What the fuck? 2.8%! A recent article on Sand sheds light on the sad truth. The president's life outside of his career has always been extremely boring. Yeah, so what? It is? 2.8%, mate. How do I... Listen, my biggest issue with this game, right, is it asks you to say things about your fucking past. And I don't know. I don't know the fucking guy's past. How can I answer truthfully? Clara Weaver, head of the Federation of Labour. Sir, I'm sure you don't need to be lectured on how important our flag is to the American. I personally treat the flag day as a second Christmas. Don't you think it's plain unfair that June 14th is another day when our good compatriots, have to drive to work instead of celebrating with their families? Where are they going to find time to teach their children some patriotism? Maybe it's long overdue. Make a flag day a federal holiday. Nope. Head of the Centre of Transgender People. Mr. President, my friend Triana, a transgender woman from Iran, has recently fled to the US. I know she forged the paperwork, but did she really have a choice? The savages back home were threatening to lynch her. Now Triana is facing a deportation to Iran, where she'll be going straight to the gallows. I've tried applying every authority there is to zero effect. Bureaucracy is killing this country and people in it. My president, you're my only hope. Will you call off the deportation? No, I won't. Bro. She fled to the US on forged paperwork. But did she have a choice? Listen, if you can afford forged paperwork, no, I'm not letting her in. Sergio Macroni's personal assistant. Mr. President, my client is worried about many family members of his not being able to elect decent politicians like you, for the sole reason that those imprisoned on felony charges are not allowed to vote. Would you consider signing an executive order to lift that ban? What? Many family members of his not being able to elect decent politicians like you, for the sole reason that those imprisoned on felony charges are not allowed to vote. Would you consider signing... No, I wouldn't. No, I won't do that. Do you know why I'm not going to do that? Because people on felony charges would be extremely open to bribery to vote for someone, wouldn't they? Oh, that's Macroni. I've just realised there is Sergio Macroni's personal assistant. That is that's the mafia boss. Fuck, I want to do it. Oh, I'm in with the mafia. First lady, honey, we never have time for a night out and I'm starving. Or fresh restaurant food like scallops and some orange sauce. Key lime shoe and foie gras with some... Oh, and the thought alone is mouth-watering. Here's the deal. 50 grand. You want to spend... Bitch, listen. You want to spend 50 grand on some lime shoe. You want to spend 50 grand on a lime. You want to spend 50 grand on some orange sauce. Where the fuck are we eating? Who are we feeding? No, man. Listen, why have we got some ridiculous-ass gold digger as a wife? I'm going to sack her off. Can we just sack her? She's useless. Okay. Well, we've made some harsh choices this episode, and I think a lot of them's going to bite us on the arse. Curb the congresswoman, right? We're going to have to do this. So, Alvaro's a private investigator. But I don't really want to fail this. So let's think. Next episode I'm getting access to Will. I'm also getting access to Ollie. I'm also getting access to Alvaro. Alvaro can wait to do the statue. We can't hack the diplomats. Should we try it? Well, let's just click this for a second. Oops, I've done it already. Fucking hell, look at the money we've got to pay people. Jerry's leaving us anyway, isn't he? Because he's not in power. Jerry's got to go. Tien's getting paid. Joe's getting paid. Will's getting paid. Fucking hell, why is this so expensive? Right, let's see where this goes. We've lost ratings here. Good, everyone's back in action. Right, we're in May. Good, we got 400 grand back, so that's fine. But I'd agree to work pro bono, boss, but only until the end of the month. Here's hoping you pay your debts. But this guy's leaving us anyway. Fuck him, he's left, he's gone. He's not in charge. Intimidate the media. Alvaro did great. Just DC reporters spotted the surveillance and wrote that they were not intimidated. The thing is, they are now filtering their speech more diligently. Their traffic is down 3% and ours up noticeably. I have the addresses of all the talkative journalists in America. If you have a spare person, we could do this kind of prevention on a regular basis. Awesome. Get rid of the spy drones. Sir, remember the story about drones over Camp David? Well, Will brought some radio wave crunching doohickey and pinpointed the operator in minutes. It was a reporter from Just DC, hiding in a gazebo at the Green Top summer camp. We seized his gear and he's offering his explanation to the police as we speak. Glad we were able to best creep before he could pull some kind of shitty trick on you. Brilliant. Adriana Morano. Mr. President, now that those imprisoned on felony charges are allowed to vote, my client is very grateful to you. Don't mind the yammering of those political commentators on the internet. They may hurl as much shit at you as they want, but the important thing is you've secured the votes of the Macronis for the next election, and while we're at it, the phrase Macroni's puppet doesn't seem in any way offensive to me. 500,000, I'll take the money. I knew the money was coming there. Right, so we're still on 5 million. Halfway. Okay, in the media. The latest bio in Sands has the whole country talking. It appears the president is hiding some unpleasant facts about his past. The USA needs a new national anthem, which expresses the changes we've undergone over the years, and all the progress we've made. Archie Wister, you motherfucker. Greetings, Twitter. I have been mastering a means of communication in order to stand up to a swindler who calls himself president. Listen, we've got the mafia on our side. I'm going to have this guy assassinated. Right, we need to pause it here. Right, tell you what, lads, I want to pause it here. Because I went into this month by actually what I thought was going to happen, lads, was I thought that I was going to go into this month's button and it would show me what quest I was going to lose. But it didn't. So that's why I did it a bit differently this time. Okay, current episode there, lads. I'm playing straight away after this because the game's awesome. See you in the next one.